Yes, once more we have to speak directly to the men of God in the land. We hear all kinds of things coming out from the pulpits across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And we'll recall that not too long ago, we had issued an alert titled, "Are the shepherds endangering the flock?" YouTube, check it, where we were asking the men of God in the land that in dragging, railroading people to election under the 1999 Constitution that the enemy is struggling to preserve so that they can complete their conquest mission. Are these men of God in the land on the side of the people, all the ones doing PVC, preaching PVC, all the ones preaching obedient? To what end is that election under this constitution that ensures the damnation of their flock, the killings of their flock, the mass impoverishment of their flock? Let us go back to that broadcast and review it soberly. Again, it's titled, "Are the shepherds endangering the flock?" If I were to answer, it will be a resounding yes, that the men of God, the shepherds in the church of Nigeria, are endangering the lives of their flock by dragging them to an election that will ensure their killings and their further impoverishment and hopelessness. Having said that, there's also a second thing that we need to bring to their attention, because now confusion is rising all over the place, and they are calling off all kinds of prayers for how to stem that confusion so it doesn't consume the land. I'm sorry to report that most of those prayers from those altars, from those pulpits, have become an abomination in the sight of God. Why do I say so? Why do we say so? I'm sure most of us know the 10 Commandments in the Bible. Let it be known to us. We may not have thought about it, but we report to you today that those 10 Commandments, men of God in Nigeria, listen carefully, so that the wrath of God does not descend on the church from the top. Those 10 Commandments are for nations as they are for men. The 10 Commandments are for nations as they are for men. And if anybody, quite apart from the constitution that we have identified as the physical instrument of the enemy, the spiritual side, because we're now talking about prayer and intercession and all kinds of things coming from the pulpits concerning the affairs of Nigeria. The spiritual source, one of the chief spiritual sources of the problems of Nigeria, of course, we had Amy Stark and the Leviathan and all kinds of things in the that work together to enthrone the kingdom of darkness over the affairs of Nigeria. But the one that is easy for all to see is that those 10 Commandments, the nations of the world that are progressive, the ones, just take a random review of a couple of successful countries and juxtapose with Nigeria. The United States, we often cite. We know about Germany. We know about Israel. I mean, the ones nobody needs to crack their head to know whether they are successful or not. Let us check those 3 countries against Nigeria in the matter of what each of them is doing in obedience to or in breach of those 10 Commandments. Then we'll see clearly why Nigeria is lying prostrate. And so the men of God who are asking God to do this and do that for Nigeria are actually offending God. First one, Thou shalt have no other God but me. In the US, for instance, their national motto is "In God we trust." You can see how their life, had gone. In Nigeria, they say we're a secular state. That is, God has no business in our affairs. That's what it means. That's commandment number 1. Thou shalt not kill. In the countries of the world where, particularly the US, most of the 50 states have had to abolish the capital sentence or capital punishment from their statute books just to keep that, commandment. Thou shalt not kill, no matter what is your reason. You can give life sentence, you can do any other kind of thing, but don't take human life. In Nigeria, on the contrary, we have a long list of offenses that carry, capital punishment. It's still being increased. Oh, kidnap, kill. Kill. Everything, kill. The NDLA, drug, kill. So, Nigeria is killing for sport. Look at what is going on across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria, as a government, is killing its own citizens. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not lie. You see what happens to other countries, to people in other countries when they tell lies. Nigeria is constructed on a foundation of lie. The constitutional foundation of the lie that we, the people, submitted our sovereignty. You can't get any further from life. You are in deep darkness. The kind of things that falsehood has done to us. Thou shalt not, honor thy father and thy mother. Honor thy father and thy mother. In Israel, for instance, children are sent, primary school children are sent because they take care of their seniors. Even in the US, you come to board a flight, they give them priority and all kinds of things. They're already taking care of their housing and healthcare and all kinds of things. But in addition, in Israel, because of that commandment, Israel not only knows where all of its seniors are, people above 65, they send children to go to sit with them because their children have all gone out. And these school children go to listen to those old people, keeping them company as a matter of school curriculum. What does Nigeria do with because they are honoring their senior, they are honoring their father and mother. That's what it is. Those countries. What is Nigeria doing with its own seniors? The pensioners. Nigeria humiliates its own seniors, its own fathers and mothers. Those who commit 35 years of their life working for Nigeria. Nigeria will humiliate them to the point where they die cursing Nigeria. Whether they are military pensioners or even civil servants, all kinds of people. Nigeria is humiliating its own old people. And so, we could take every one of them to show why it is working for some countries and things are not working here. If we do not go to sit down and look at how to adjust, Germany is the only country in the world that takes something that amounts to tithe. Germany is the only country that pays tithe. They take a part of their tax and commit to, you see the party of Angela Merkel, the former chancellor. Germany pays tithe. So why are you not able to see why we are indeed where we are? So let the men of God in the land dress back from all this noise going on all over the place. They are leading the people deeper and deeper into darkness. Nigeria is in breach of every one of those 10 commandments. And if the punishment, if there's reward for obedience, there's also punishment for, not obeying. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long. If Nigeria's life is cut short, will it not be because he's dishonoring his fathers and mothers? I think we drop it there. But men of God in the land, please, 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 go back and see what we are saying. It could mean life or death for millions of people. Thank you.